Okay, so now we're going to work on a nose. I'm using a Derwent pencil, B, a B pencil. You could use HB. The H pencils are generally a little too hard. An HB is in between a B and an H. B pencils are nice and soft. And this is just a plain B, not a 2B or 4B. Okay, so before we do anything, what we're going to do now is work on a nose. But before we do anything, before we get serious about any one feature, you want to have your drawing blocked in roughly like this. And I'll show you how to do that in a different video. But I have some idea of where everything's going to be before I start working on one feature. Now, with the nose, you want to remember that there's no outline with a nose. There is no outline of a nose. It's all shadows that make up a nose. So I'm looking over here at all those shadows. Even this is the shadow that goes underneath the nose. It is not an outline. So you want to gently kind of work those shadows in, looking carefully. I'm using my blocked out measurements to see where to put this nose, and I'm just kind of indicating where the edge would be. There we go. But like I say, I'm thinking as I'm drawing about how it's all shadow. I see a little shadow here, and then I'm looking over here. There's an area of shadow here, and I also see, can you see there's a whole area of shadow here. It extends out onto her cheek and down along the side of her nose. So I'm going to work on getting that whole thing going now. Let's see. And I think about the direction my pencil is drawing. I want it to help describe the direction that the shadow is falling over the nose. Ultimately, I may end up giving the whole nose a bit of a tone because I want that tip on the nose right there to be, that's a highlight. So I could do quite a bit of drawing on this nose, and by making the rest of it darker, then the white paper that's left where that highlight is will work to make a nice white highlight. And then as I'm moving up the nose over here, I realize, one thing leads to another. I'm moving close to the eye. I'm actually, I'm essentially drawing in between the eye and the nose. So that's how that works. And then I noticed that here the tone's a little bit darker up here, like this. And I think we have a pretty nice nose here. I'm going back down here to kind of just flesh this out a little, like that. And I'm being very observant the whole time. I keep looking at the photograph, and in order to find the place in the photograph that I'm drawing on my piece of paper, takes a lot of looking. You can't stop looking. Okay, here we go. There we are. And that's just about a nose. There we go. And so there was the girl's nose, and here's the drawing, which will look good once we get the other features in.